Welcome back, everybody. Thank you again for tuning in today. We've got some more fun stuff to cook up today, including these super special, really beautiful halibut cheeks. Now I know at first look, some of you might think, hey, those look kind of like scallops. And you would not be wrong. They do look kind of like scallops, and you cook them up much in the same way that you cook up scallops. So they're really beautiful. We're just gonna give these a little pan sear. And they kind of have a similar taste to scallops too. They got that nice sweetness, but it's got a little bit of a different texture, which is nice. But this is the premium cut of the fish, best part of the halibut right here. Fishmonger favorite, absolutely beautiful. And we have them in stock both in Minneapolis and St. Paul. So beautiful, beautiful halibut cheeks. And we're gonna be using them to make a beautiful spring dish, because spring halibut, we got some asparagus, we'll do a little mushroom risotto. We're gonna make something really nice here. So to get this started, I'm gonna get my pan going. I wanna get this pretty good and hot because I wanna get a nice sear on these scallops. So what I'm gonna do first is season them, like so, with salt, and pretty generous with the seasoning. You know, we're gonna add a lot of butter to this because butter makes everything better. So make sure we got a good seasoning on that first side there. And then when this pan is hot, we're gonna go ahead and add the scallops to the pan and get those nice and seared off. So it'll be really beautiful, just absolutely gorgeous scallop dish. Halibut dish, not scallops. Again, these are a lot like scallops, so it's easy to get confused, but they're just super delicious. And the quality is super good. See, Leslie knows. You just don't get a much more special kind of treat than the halibut cheeks. Really beautiful. It's not something we get in all the time, so we're always pretty happy when it does come available. And I got this pan here going. It's starting to get pretty hot, which is what I want. I'm gonna add a little bit of vegetable oil to the pan, just a touch, because we're gonna be adding some butter to this. So I want just enough to like let that sear start. And then we're gonna add in some butter after the fact. Now that oil is gonna help prevent the butter from burning. So it's gonna really kind of help aid in the process overall. So let's go ahead and check, see how my pan is doing. So that's how you wanna test. You hear that? Well, as soon as it hits the pan, you're good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these down in the pan. Remember, anytime you're doing something like this, lay the fish away from you so that you don't get splattered with oil. You also want to make sure these are patted real dry before you add them to your pan, just like you would with scallops. So just like so, we're going to get them in there, push them down so they're making sure that they're making full contact with the pan. Perfect. So now, I've got those searing away. I've got my white truffle butter. This is great. We just added this to the website today. We've got this white truffle butter available here in Minneapolis. We've all got a different truffle butter over in St. Paul. It's also really great. It will work well for this. So just really, really good. And it's going to add a lot of that nice mushroomy, truffly flavor to this, which again, just a beautiful, beautiful springtime dish. Just get all those spring flavors going. And I'm going to season the back side while these continue to sear, like so. You want to make sure we're good and well seasoned here. Again, there's a lot of butter going on, which is exactly what we want. And I'm just not going to do anything. I'm just going to let them sit and sear and do their thing. You can place an order online, absolutely. If you go to coastalseafoods.com, there's a link at the top for online ordering and delivery. You can click that, place your order right there. Be absolutely perfect. Uh-oh. Running out of butane here. So let's go ahead and get my canister swapped out. Happens sometimes when you go live, you never really know how much you got left. We'll load that in, like so. And then we'll go ahead and down. This pan still has plenty of heat left to it, so it's still kind of going. We're good. And we'll get that frying back up. Go ahead and check the underside there. We want to get this nice and golden brown. We want to get a real nice crust on there. That's exactly what we're aiming for. So yeah, Halibut Cheeks available for a limited time. So definitely if you want them, get in on it now. I'm just going to kind of baste these a little bit with this truffle butter. Make sure they're just really good and saturated with all this flavor. It's also going to help start cooking the top side as well, which is going to kind of even out our cooking time a little bit. Again, basting is such a great technique when it comes to fish and seafood. Absolutely perfect. And all nice and in there. That hot butter just drenching over the fish. I mean, it just doesn't get better than that. This is some quality food here we got going on. And of course, again, it's springtime. Springtime means beautiful asparagus, which we do also carry. And I'm going to just drop this in the pan with my cheeks and just start letting those kind of warm through, take on some of that truffle butter as well. How are we looking here? Starting to get nice and golden brown. Exactly what we want. There it goes. Again, that asparagus automatically starts smelling nice as soon as it hits that truffle. Perfect, 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 perfect. And when those sear off, let's talk a little bit about, I said I'm going to serve this with a mushroom risotto. So we sell these packets of mushroom risotto. Now I know, as a risotto purist myself, I like to make my own from scratch. But you know what? These are actually surprisingly good. I'm very impressed with these. So I actually use these quite a bit if I'm cooking at home on a fast dinner. They work really nice, go well with a lot of different seafood. And I'm going to dress that up a little bit more too with the truffle butter once we're all done with these. We're getting that asparagus nice and tossed. I can see that butter starting to brown. Again, I'm getting a nice sort of crust developing on these cheeks. It's exactly what I want. And just like scallops, we're going to spend most of the time cooking on the one side to really develop that crust. And then we'll just finish it on the other side. Which is also true of most fish. You know, a lot of the fish I cook probably 2/3 of the way on one side and then just flip to finish. And you wind up with a really nice end result. Oh yeah. The asparagus is just frying off in that butter. And hit the asparagus with a little bit of salt because that's not had any yet. A little bit there. There's some salt in the pan also from the cheeks mixed into that butter by this point, so we don't need to go crazy on the asparagus. And what's weird right now is this actually smells like our searing scallops. Like it looks like it smells like you get that sweet, sweet flavor off the halibut cheeks. Just unbelievable. So, so good. Again, very excited for this. Really browning up nicely. And sometimes if you notice like things aren't browning super evenly in your pan, you know, rotate them a little bit. You don't want to move them around too much, you know, but again, if you notice that it's not quite coming along the way you want to, or maybe you have a spot in your pan that's not as hot as others, just rotate it around. That's just you being diligent about your fish. So while those finish up, I'm going to go ahead and finish off this risotto. So this is good. I cooked this off ahead of time. Really, this is the kind of thing where it's let it sit and hang for 20 minutes and just simmer, and you're good. I'm going to add a little bit more water to it just to loosen it back up because it's been sitting while we've been talking. It's still warm, so it's going to absorb that water. And I'm also going to add in some more of this truffle butter to give it a little bit more mushroom flavor. Exactly like that. And I'm just going to go ahead and stir this in. And that butter is going to melt. It's going to get all nice and creamy again. It's exactly what we want. Perfect. You can still, it's still warm from before. You could add a touch of cream in here if you wanted to, but it really doesn't need it. It's nice and kind of creamy on its own. Again, I'm just adding a little bit more water just to sort of bounce it back. Just a little. And there we go. Just got a beautiful crust on these halibut cheeks. Exactly what we want. So I'm going to flip them and just let them finish on the pan, in the pan. Stir this up. Yeah. Beautiful creamy risotto with that extra truffle butter. I'm also going to go ahead and chop up a little fresh parsley just to bring a little fresh herb action to the party here. So got some parsley. I'm just going to kind of rough chop like so. Run my knife through. Again, this is just going to add some brightness. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I'm going to take this risotto and add a touch of the parsley to that and sort of stir it in. And just to add a little brightness, a little freshness here. Perfect. Now, let's go ahead and get a plate and start dishing this up. I'm going to go ahead and put my risotto down. You can see it's nice and creamy still. It's exactly what we're looking for. Perfect. More. Set this off to the side. And just like any good risotto, you should be able to shake it, and it should fill out your plate, like so. Again, exactly what we want. These halibut cheeks are looking perfect. I'm going to take my asparagus. I'm going to lay these down right on top of that risotto, like so. And then to finish, fresh lemon. Just a little squeeze of that fresh lemon there. Perfect. Go ahead and just set these right on top of everything. Just absolutely beautiful. Look at that. This is exactly what we want here. And then of course finish it with a little bit more fresh parsley. Sort of all around our plate, a little on top. Again, just add a little bit of that extra brightness. And we have ourselves a perfect little spring dinner. Parsley all over. There we go. Halibut cheeks. Look at that. Just perfect. Got that nice, beautiful, crispy, buttery crust with all that truffle butter on there. Absolutely gorgeous. This is perfect to make right now. Again, perfect springtime dish. This would be great for Mother's Day. So if you're looking for that, maybe order it up and have some on hand for Mother's Day. Again, perfect. You can order them online. You can call the store and place an order. Really, really good. And it's so crispy. And you can smell all that truffle on there. Just absolutely beautiful. So, so good. So yeah, make all those mothers happy out there. If you're a mother, maybe plant some suggestions that you would like some halibut cheeks for the weekend. We've also got our party platters up we're featuring right now as well. We've got our salmon platter available, we've got our shrimp platters, we've got our smoked fish platters. So if you want to make Mother's Day a little extra special for your mother or the mothers in your life, maybe consider that a good option. We've got whole black sea bass available as well this week. That's absolutely gorgeous. Do a whole fish cookout for Mother's Day. Perfect, so good. But yeah, so halibut cheeks, mushroom risotto, super easy. Hopefully you make this, take pictures, tag us, do the whole thing. We always love seeing your work. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. You know, I'll get around to answering them once this is over. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Stay safe as always, and we will be back tomorrow with some more fun stuff. So if you have more questions, get those ready, and we'll see you then.